Brian Mattis' turn to show what he's got. He has had a month of August to remember, and he wants to conclude it in just that fashion. Game 1, Red Sox next. It's the Orioles on Masson, and welcome. Oriole Park at Camden Yards is the site. It's the O's and the B's of Boston getting together a 3-game set in a season series that is tied at 6-6 coming into this ball game tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne for the Orioles. They come off the best road trip that they have had, 4-2, and they have a sweep. With the Angels, it is their 5th sweep of a 3 or more game set this season. Those have been few and far between in the last few years. They'll try and continue this streak against the Red Sox and Brian Mattis on the mound. It has been all about pitching of late. And for Mattis, what a month of August he had. He'll try and continue and wrap up that month with a victory against Boston tonight. Why the change? He's had as many wins in August as the rest of the entire year. Look at the ERA difference and the innings. That's gone up 1 inning per start. The ground ball fly ball ratio, interesting. Mike's going to talk about that in a minute. And the base on balls per game, when you lower those, you got a better chance. Those are the numbers, Mike Flanagan. What do they mean?
Yeah, they really jump out at you. You know, the walks being down really saves on the pitch count. The ground ball, fly ball is an indication he's keeping the ball down better, getting a lot more ground balls out of it, and therefore less pitch count, pitching deeper into ball games. Now he's pitching into the 7th. 3 wins in August and 3 wins the rest of the year. Pretty amazing turnaround.
It's hard to tell whether what we were looking at were the numbers, were the actual results, or the reasons, but in any event, they're very good. And you talk about very good. How about overall for the pitching staff of the Orioles?
Yeah, I got to feel pretty good about it. 26 games under Buck Showalter, 18 quality starts in that time, the average way down. The ERA just astounding at 3.06 for staff. It really, to me, is an indication of the pitchers really feeding off each other. You pitch well, I want to pitch well. And I think conversely, in the past, a starter would do poorly. Next thing you know, you want to do more, doing too much, and then therefore you hit the downward trend. It really has changed around dramatically.
All right, well, if you broadcast good tonight, I'll broadcast good tonight, and I'll just feed off everything that you give me. All right, we're ready to go. Game 1 coming up, another summer night here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. When we come back, first pitch. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. And we are ready to go. Dogs and sausages are on, too. An 87-degree night. Very little breeze, if any at all. And virtually no clouds. Just a spectacular summer evening here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Red Sox, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Scudero, McDonald, and Martinez. Ortiz, Beltre, and Lowell. Drew, Lowry, and Hall. J.D. Drew, big-time numbers against the Orioles, .395 average.
Our PNC scouting report on Brian Mattis and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight. It would be the August boom. Really has turned it on here in August. 3-1 record with a 2.32 ERA. And control left. Back on his start on July 4th in Boston. Struck out David Ortiz, and J.D. Drew has been an Oriole killer 5 times in that game. So you want to control those left-handers again. And 4th of July, going back to that date again, shut out the Red Sox over 7 innings. Very impressive outing. Would like to duplicate that here again tonight.
So for Brian Mattis, a continuation, as the entire staff has done, of getting better. And he certainly has done that, trying to get those hits and innings pitched reversed, get the number of hits lower, keep those walks down, so he's not working as often with runners on base. Only 23 years old, the Orioles starter. Wants a new baseball here, trying to get in-plate umpire's attention, Ed Repuano, for a new ball, as Marco Scudero will stand in. Red Sox need wins. Right now, they've got to hope for help from other teams if they're going to make a run at Tampa Bay and New York, or perhaps the wild card spot, and they know they've got to put streaks together. So they have a lot on the line if they're going to have any shot at the postseason. Scudero will take the pitch. It is in there for a strike, and they're underway. Scudero, a 3-game hit streak coming into this ball game for the Red Sox. The 0-1 delivery by Brian Mattis will be slapped to short, circled by his Turris, and he got it.
Take a look at the Oriole defense tonight. Felix P.A. will be in left. Adam Jones back out in center field with his 8 assists, leads all center fielders. Nick Markakis will play right. Bell and Astouris on the left side. Brian Roberts back at second base. Ty Wigington will man first base. And Wieters will be behind the plate, catching the offense of Brian Mattis.
Orioles are 10th in defense and have their regular center fielder back. Said they probably could have played him Sunday, but didn't want to take a chance with that back. He's in there tonight. That is taken for a strike. Happy to have Jones back in center of the Orioles. This was the shot to the back that took him out.
He really just kind of split the number.
That one hurt. Here's McDonald. The 0-1 delivery to him will be taken down low. Darnell McDonald, who's getting a lot more playing time than he thought he would have at this point of the season because of injuries. Jacoby Ellsbury, of course, is out for the remainder of the season. They've had to shuffle the outfield innumerable times. Mattis' breaking ball will miss outside. Falls behind on the count, 2-1.
Yeah, Darnell McDonald's done a nice job for him. Starters the last 3 games, 3 outstanding, 0.37, and that's just a balk by Bergeson, the only run allowed in that Anaheim series.
You know, Mattis is trying to continue, and you know the other pitchers probably said something about it at some point, not today, about the scoreless inning streak.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, those are things pitchers love to talk about. You better keep it going, you know. We don't waste our effort.
And that is going to be on the inside corner. McDonald is ready to go to first base. He'll be pulled back.
So what Brian Mattis has done so well of late. See the lower target given by Matt Wieters. Really lowers the eye line of the umpire. Sideline, Ed Rapuano.
That one in the air to left field. It's in the ballpark and playable. PA will put it away. McDonald is retired. 2 down here in the first inning. Now a hitter you're going to have to concentrate on because he certainly is focused. Victor Martinez comes in the Tampa Bay series where they won 1 out of 3. He went 8 for 13. 3 solo home runs. He only had 1 in his previous 36 games.
If there's someone in the lineup you're going to circle as hot, it'll be Victor Martinez. And he has really killed left-handed pitching. .415 average on the year.
That average against lefties is number 1 in the American League against left-handed pitchers. And he will take the pitch. It is down low for a ball. So one of the guys you really don't want to beat you in the lineup is Victor Martinez. You see Kevin Youkilis, who is not in the ball game, second against left-handers. Then Bosch, Konerko, and Cabrera, best averages against left-handed pitchers. That pitch will be taken outside. Mattis not missing by much. He's right around that strike zone.
Yeah, he's right around the knees where he wants to be, and so far hasn't been getting the low strike called from Ed Rapuano. You mentioned Kevin Youkilis. He was in the lineup back on July 4th before being injured. Mattis handled him well that day.
2-0 delivery on the way, and he challenged him, and the pitch will be foul back. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count. There is Kevin Youkilis, part of the continuing barrage of players who have come and gone on the DL and who have had to stay on the DL for extended periods of time this year. One of the reasons the Red Sox have struggled as they have, trying to contend. Terry Francona's had to manage more this year maybe than any other time since joining the Red Sox.
Yeah, currently have 8 players on the disabled list.
He gets the outside corner and a 2-ball, 2 strikeout. Most players on the DL this year. Red Sox are number 1 with the A's, Rangers, Dodgers, and Phillies. Yet Rangers, Dodgers, Phillies have all made a run at it.
Maybe it's a good omen for most cases. They're just not getting hurt enough.
Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled off.
Yeah, the 19 players that have been on the DL for the Red Sox overall, 9 of them are current or former All-Stars. So it shows you not only just the people that go on the DL, it's been their better players.
They come in 7 games out behind the leaders, Tampa Bay and the Yankees. And for Terry Francona, the wild card spot is not an easy one either. They are 7 games behind in that one because it's a team from the East that's going to make that wild card spot this year.
That shows you all about the division. You look at the Rangers, who are leading the West by 8.5 games, have the same exact record as the Red Sox. It seems like it's been a poor year for the Red Sox and outstanding for the Rangers. Shows you how tough that AL East is and will continue to be.
Minnesota gained a game over the weekend against the White Sox, even though Manny showed up with his interpreter. A 2-ball, 2 strike count. That one laced into left field. That'll be a base hit. And Martinez with a 6-game hit streak and continues to really put up astounding numbers against left-handers.
Yeah, that .415 average is not an accident. He's not going to get many leg hits.
We get to see in this game 2 of the best designated hitters. This designated hitter, though, has struggled lifetime against the Orioles left-hander. 0 for 6 and 5
strikeouts. Yeah, that's start back on July 4th. We'll probably refer to a lot in this. Struck him out all 3 times swinging that he faced him. It was one of the keys to that outstanding outing he did have, was Ortiz right in the middle of all the action. Take a look at the DH numbers this season. Ortiz and Scott. Luke Scott now with the 2nd highest batting average. Home runs, Ortiz has him by a few. I'm sure he has many more at bats and RBIs. Pretty distinct advantage, Ortiz.
And Ortiz will take that for a low strike. He did not like the call from Ed Rapuano.
Yeah, he was over. I talked to him a little bit before the game, coming over to the Oriole cage to do a little extra hitting. Ed Rapuano, one of the more outgoing of the umpires, he'll have a conversation with you. Also has been known to have a little bit of a hair trigger.
Ortiz just 217 off left-handers, 288 off right-handers. And Brian Mattis, that's the way he has pitched to Ortiz. He likes to bust him inside with some heat, try and get him to stand up a little, and then come back with that breaking ball or a fastball low and away.
That's right. Textbook pitching. And the thing is, you know what to do and what the plan is. Many times you just can't execute. And this year, really Mattis has been able to execute against Ortiz.
2 down here. Runner on at first base. And Ortiz swings through it. Stayed inside on him on a 2-ball, 2 strike count.
Again, it's the location. It's really not the velocity. We get this, even though it was destined to be or wanted to be low and away. Perfect spot up and in.
Tonight's Pitch Strike brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Subway, where winners eat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Short lead at first for Martinez. Being held by Wigginton. Long look, Brian Mattis. Breaking ball. Broke a little late. Brian Mattis, you saw how he held the ball that time. One of the things he's working on, stolen bases against him have been high, 16 out of 19. So for Mattis and the other young pitchers, learning how to hold runners in different ways, Mike, has been an ongoing
I've had a long
process.
conversation, certainly with Buck Showalter and also Rick Kranitz on improving his pickoff move. And it's all about balance. And if you remember a few starts ago, Brian would be kind of hunched over and spread out, and he would try to do the quick pitch move. And now if you watch, his balance is much better, much more upright. And now with his balance back, he's able to load like his normal wind-up delivery and still be able to check that runner at first. So it's about balance.
Yeah. Ortiz stands back in. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Full count delivery. That's going to be popped up down the line in left field. PA, a long run, and can't get there. It's a foul ball. Probably a ball that should have been caught. It had a lot of hang time, and he looked like about 3/4 of the way there. He kind of lost sight of it. Wasn't sure where it was.
The thing is, your head starts to bounce when you're running that great distance. It's hard to keep your head still. So many times you're chasing a ball, you do your hard running early, and then you kind of glide at the end. You watch some of those great catches that are made. The difficult ones like that, even though it was well up in the air, was that you never had a chance where you could glide into the catch.
Orioles, of course, had the shift on. They've got the overload in the infield, and they shifted in the outfield as well. Kind of bunching up towards center field on Ortiz. 3-ball, 2-strike count for the third time coming. And swung on and missed. He got him again. And you can see Ortiz talking to himself. He knows the struggles he has against Brian Mattis, and they continue in the first inning. The Red Sox have lost their last two, played at Tampa Bay. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Brian Roberts, they waited to the last minute to decide if he was healthy enough. He is. Markakis, Wigginton, Scott, Jones, P.A. Wieters, is Turris and Bell. Nick Markakis against the Red Sox this year, .360.
Our PNC scouting report on Josh Beckett and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight. He is a lifer. His lifetime record against the Orioles, 6-2 lifetime, 5-1 here at Camden Yards. No parking. In his last 4 starts, he's allowed home runs. We'd like to keep the ball in the ballpark tonight. And great Scott, he's going to have to keep his eye on Luke Scott, who's 8 for 18 off of Josh Beckett with 2 home runs.
It has been a very long year. Those 4 wins, nowhere near what Josh Beckett or the Red Sox had hoped for. Injuries have kept him out a good part of the season. As you saw for Beckett, it's only his 16th start. He has not beaten a team with a 500 or better record. Brian Roberts will take the pitch away. Brian comes in after the injury that pulled him out. And that cut, left hip. Ongoing problems, hip back. That ball will go to short. Scudero has played towards the bag. And Roberts is retired on a couple pitches.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. Hall will be in left. Darnell McDonald, former Oriole, will be in center field. 7th most outfield assists from center field. He has 7 in this short period out there. J.D. Drew will play right field. Beltran, Scudero on the left side. Jed Lowry, Mike Lowell will play first, and Victor Martinez behind the plate. They have the 7th best defense in the American League.
And here is Nick Markakis. Nick coming in with an 8-game hit streak. And Nick has done it with singles for Nick Markakis. No extra base hit in the last 12 games, his longest streak of the year in that department, but 9 for 31 during the 8-game streak.
Yep, starting to heat up, but again, the long ball, the extra base hit have not been part of the game of late.
He's now tied for 4th in doubles. As a result, his last extra base hit was a double on August 16. He and Josh Hamilton now tied for 4th in 2-baggers in the American League.
Yeah, slipped off the top of that list.
Got a 2-0 count. Beckett's delivery. That's in the air to left center field. That's got a chance for extra bases. He'll make the turn and head to second. And Nick Markakis goes in with a double. 40th for the 4th straight season, which is the longest stretch of consecutive 40 double seasons in Oriole history. Congratulations to Nick Markakis.
Absolutely. It was a clear double right off the bat. Sounded great off the bat. Head right down on it. Splitting McDonald and Hall in the outfield. Just a textbook stand-up double. We've seen him do it many times.
So Markakis is on, and here is Ty Wigginton. Wigginton batting in the number 3 spot for the ball game. Josh Beckett, we talked about the tough year. He's had a couple of wins, 2 losses, and a no decision in his last 5. One of his best outings of the year came in his last performance against Seattle. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 6 1/3 innings. Retired 16 straight after he gave up a leadoff single to start the ball game.
Yeah, he's been really a victim, much like the younger pitchers, of the big inning.
That's going to be a long throw. Backhanded Scudero, and he'll be none. An infield hit. Markakis stays at second base.
Yeah, just well placed by Wigginton. No chance for Beltre. Scudero can only sort of pick it up and put it in his pocket. Not an outstanding throwing arm for a shortstop. So well placed ground ball by Wigginton hustling down the line.
So the Orioles have a chance to get to Beckett early. 2 on, 1 down. Luke Scott, the DH. Happy to be back home in the ballpark where he has hit so well this season. As Luke comes in with a .346 average here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, tied for the 2nd best home average in the American League. 1 down.
Yeah, 17 of his 25 homers here at Camden Yards.
And he'll take it up high.
Take a look at his numbers and certainly what he's done against Josh Beckett. He's 8 for 18 career, .444 average, and 2 bombs off of Josh Beckett. Luke Scott loves to hit the fastball, and really not surprised by that. Josh Beckett will get, as they say, fastball stubborn. He really wants to overpower you.
The stars are aligned, if you will, for Luke Scott for this ball game at home against Beckett, and only 2 for his last 21. And that's going to be a base hit into right field. J.D. Drew, runner coming home, Markakis. Here's the throw to the plate, cut off. And Scott delivers an RBI single, and the Orioles are up 1-0.
Not wasting no time. His pitches are away from Luke Scott. And just pulls it. Just a real short swing to the ball off the end of the bat. Breaks the bat. But Luke's certainly strong enough to get it over the infield. He's had no hesitation on the part of Markakis of holding up at third base. Read it well. Scored easily.
So the Orioles put the heat on early, and Luke Scott gets his 61st RBI of the season. Now Adam Jones. Adam coming in with the runners on at first and second base as Wigginton stopped at second, Scott at first. Adam gets the RBI chance here with only one away. Beckett, the long look, and the pitch will be in there for a strike. Adam trying to get out of an 0 for 16 that he is in right now. Prior to going out with the injury, he was hitting .307 in the month of August. Only 9 strikeouts in the last 21 games. That's a big turnaround for Adam Jones. And the discussion here is Martinez heads out.
And so they may want to switch up the signs. But you're right, Adam Jones against the Red Sox. He had cut down his striking out. But against the Red Sox in the 12 games they played, he struck out 14 times and has walked 3 times. Overall hitting .294 against the Red Sox. Pretty good numbers against them with their pitching staff.
Orioles have done well with the season series tied at 6-6. Orioles are 4-2 in games played here, but Showalter gets a chance to see them against the Red Sox. Team 16-10 under Buck. Going for the outside corner. Those are the pitches that he used to chase. Oh, that was a pretty good pitch, but he still laid off it.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Beckett wanted, but you're right. That's where they've stayed down almost exclusively away from Adam Jones. Just try to pick apart that outside corner, whether it's a fastball or a breaking ball, and see if we can get Adam to expand.
Wigginton off second, Scott off first. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. And he'll foul it away. Tell you how the improvement has been in August for Adam Jones. He struck out 22% of the time before August. In the month of August, he has lowered that to 12% based on at-bats. That's a pretty dramatic improvement. He's going to go over the 100 strikeout number. Next one, in fact, will be 100, but still, you like to see those numbers going in that direction.
Right, in the right direction.
1-2 the count. Beckett's delivery to him, and swung on and missed. There is the 100th. And there are 2 down.
It's like a little slider or cut fastball. Not a pitch you see a lot from Josh Beckett. That's maybe what has fooled him more than anything else.
Beckett holding the fingers up, 2 down. Felix P.A. getting the start in left field. P.A.'s got an 0 for 12 coming into the ball game. And the pitch to him will be taken for a strike. Now the Orioles would love to get at least 1 more off Beckett here if P.A. can come through with a base hit, not let him off. Good month of August. Felix P.A. has hit .310, a couple of home runs this month, and has played a much solider left field.
And much better reads in the outfield, much better jumps.
And a 2-strike count as Beckett had an off speed on him right there.
Yeah, there's a 6-6 dead even matchup with the Orioles and the Red Sox along the way. The average about the same. The Red Sox with a distinct advantage in the home run department, 22-12. ERA about a run apart. It seems like when the Orioles win, it's by either 1 in extra innings or, the Red Sox outscore them by a few. Is kind of the formula that's worked well this year. And the Orioles playing so well in extra inning play.
0-2 the count. P.A. will take the pitch outside. Beckett trying to get him to chase on it, and it'll go to 1-2. Beckett missed 56 games with the lower back strain that he had. He's gone 3-2 with an ERA of 5.5 since coming off the DL, which encompasses this his 8th start since returning. John Farrell, pitching coach, he too has had to shuffle the deck, especially in the bullpen. Here's the 1-2 delivery. That's a ground ball towards second base. Lowry is there. He'll make the play at first and get the out. The Orioles will get a run. 3 hits, 2 are left on base. RBI goes to Luke Scott. The O's up 1-0. Your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. And on our Luna doubles board, the American League team leaders. The Red Sox first in doubles. Twins, Jays, Tigers, and Rays in that order. Doubles team leaders. On our Luna doubles board. 1-0, Orioles up. Brian Mattis gets staked to an early lead. Beltre with a 3-game hit streak will stand in. Adrian Beltre, their third baseman, having an exceptional year. You see, the Red Sox have outscored opponents by 50 runs, innings 1 through 3. Brian Mattis has allowed 39 runs in the innings 1 through 3, 48%. That's in the something's got to give department. So far, so good.
Absolutely. It really is a barometer for Brian Mattis. It seems like he can get through the first 3 innings. He can sail into the 7th. Beltre with a lofty average, 5th best average, 5th in hits in the American League. Pitches outside. He's also been their best road hitter. Beltre's averaging .328 in road games, the 4th best road average in the American League this year. He has really done the job. He really has had a terrific year. Beltre will foul it back. Some of the biggest swings you'll see in the league. Kind of amazing his average has been able to maintain a .323 average, but he'll drop down on one knee. I mean, rarely does anyone swing as hard as he does and have that much success. He's faced Brian Mattis 4 times. See the league leaders in average. 1-2 delivery in the air to right field. Nick Markakis in place. Beltre retired, 1 away. Orioles continue their final 3-game set with the Red Sox this season at Oriole Park tomorrow. It'll be at 7:05. Good seats are still available. We hope you'll show your Birdland pride. Help us paint the park orange. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Mike Lowell will take on Brian Mattis. He's playing at first base in the ball game. Probably his last season. May need hip surgery and or hip replacement when the season is done. He's played in pain for the past couple of years and has been an invaluable member of the Red Sox winning years over the last decade. Foul back and a 1-ball-1-strike count. 13th year. Very respectable numbers. And a winner. Yeah, always a tough out. Always played in a lot of winning ball clubs. Do whatever it takes. And that one will be bounced. Lowe was kind of the lost man of the Red Sox for much of this year until the injuries piled up. And suddenly the Red Sox had to turn to him and ask him to get back out on the field. And Terry Francona's faith in him has paid off. He's given them everything, which is always the great strength that he and Kevin Youkilis brought to this ball club. Yeah, absolutely. With the signing of Adrian Beltre for third base, Youkilis at first, and Ortiz DH, and there really was no place for Mike Lowell to get any at-bats. Now with Youkilis on the bench there, taking a drink. Lowell's in. 2-2 delivery, and that one is in the air. Center field. Adam Jones gets it. That's what Mike was talking about. What we showed you, the positioning of the fastballs, getting outs and not leaving the yard. Absolutely. Getting the ball down, moving it to the outside part of the plate. He really has had much better command, much easier delivery, much more relaxed delivery, less stressful. That'll bring up J.D. Drew. Drew has been asked to pull more than his weight here during this injury time as well. He is the kind of player that when he's hot can really carry a ball club for weeks with his bat. And against the Orioles, he's certainly done all right. Yeah, big time numbers. A .353 average, 4th best on base percentage, #1, and also the slugging percentage. You mentioned that 3-game series up at Fenway around the 4th. He really carried the club the first couple of games. I know he had 2 home runs in one of those games to win 3-2. And the lowest batting average versus lefties. J.D. Drew, .192 average. And if the Red Sox were healthy, Mike, he wouldn't be playing. Absolutely. You're right. He would be platoon. He wouldn't be playing tonight. Can go back to that July 4th meeting. Struck out twice. And add another.
He just watched that one go by. Mattis gets a second strikeout. He retires the side in order. The Orioles up 1-0.
Going 9-4 against the AL West and 6-4 against the AL Central, but 24 out of their next 31 games are against the AL East. And Buck Showalter said, "I'm not going to just throw out every observation I've made to this point if we do struggle in some of these series coming up here. We've played some pretty competitive teams very hard, and we've won some of those games. But Gary and Mike, as we all know, if you're going to win in this division, you've got to play these teams hard, and you've got to win against these teams." Gary?
And Amber, is certainly true, and true for the long run, as Buck was making the point before the game and Amber was talking about. Wieters going after that one. You got to play the whole season. And one of the most dangerous things is to make judgments on players and teams in the month of September.
Yeah. That in spring training are probably the two toughest times to really get a read on a player.
Yeah. You got to be very careful, because you play clubs that maybe just down and feel they're out of it. This Red Sox team is on the verge in that regard. You see the remaining schedule.
Yeah, when you really dissect it, it's 6 against New York, 6 against Boston, 6 against Tampa Bay, and 3 against Toronto in your division.
Those division games. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Matt Wieters, and he will take it outside.
Yeah, if you take the Red Sox out of the equation, they played dead even at 6-6 against the rest of the AL East. They're 5-31.
The Red Sox are 500 against the East. They have lost 7 out of 12 against the Yankees. Grounded down to first base. That'll be played by Lowe. Wieters is retired. The Red Sox problem's been in the East itself. 5-10 against Tampa Bay. It's been against Toronto, where they've got the wins 11-4, playing against Toronto, and then even against the Orioles. About September, Buck Showalter, listen, because it's very succinct. Regarding September and the Oriole players, he said,
I don't think they want to, and the knowledge of what September means to our organization, just from a standpoint as we go forward, will be lost on anybody.
I don't think the importance of September will be lost on anybody.
It's a great statement, don't you think?
Pretty short.
I think, yeah.
It's a Hemingway simple sentence.
Just play that over and over in the clubhouse.
It had a little edge to it, a little warning note about don't be thinking about the golf game coming up on October 5.
Yeah, vacation plans. And
don't be thinking about that
until the season is over.
Yes. Here's his Torres on a ground ball to second base. Lowry. 2 down. So Beckett trying to settle in here. Retire the side in order. He's been hit pretty hard. 286 the numbers against him this year. Left-handers in particular. They've hit 307 against him. Right-handers 259. So for Josh Bell, see if he can make that work. And Bell will take the pitch for a strike. Bell trying to earn that third base spot. He's hitting .290 right-handed, but only .200 left-handed. Swing and a miss.
And he really struggled in that series up at Fenway. He's had a tough time against the Red Sox this year. He won 1 for 7 in that series, struck out 5 times. A lot of the power arms of the Red Sox just tried to overpower Josh Bell.
0-2 count on him. 2 down, nobody on. Bell takes a strike on the inside corner. Beckett gets his second strikeout, and he retires the side in order. That's once through the lineup for the O's. Budweiser, it's what we do. Brian Mattis goes back to work for the O's. He will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. Lowry, switch hitter, then Hall, followed by Scudero at the top of the order. Jed Lowry playing at second base. Dustin Pedroia, of course, among the injured, out for the remainder of the season. Tried to make a comeback. That didn't work.
Nope, we're back on the disabled list.
Lowry, 333 right-handed, 234 left-handed. 4 home runs, 3 of them hit from this side of the plate. 1-0 delivery. The Red Sox are 24-19 against left-handed starters this season. In the American League, that is the 5th best win percentage for Terry Francona's team against lefties. Here's Brian Mattis' 1-1 delivery. Talk about an elastic pitch. There was one.
Yeah, when he's taking a little bit off that curveball, he's not trying to throw it hard as he was maybe in the first half of the season. Allowing it to break, not making it break. See that late finish. Hitters will give up on it. Continues to bite through the zone.
Right to third. Bell's got it. And one away here in the 3rd inning. Don't miss your final chance of the season to experience 2110 Utah Street, presented by Home Savings of America and Southwest Airlines. On Saturday, one low price. You get a reserved Utah Street bleacher seat, exclusive 2110 T-shirt. Nick and Adam also will be tossing baseballs to the crowd between innings. We hope you'll come and enjoy. Promotions, prizes, and more. Space is limited. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com for 2110. Hall getting the start in left field. And he's going to get a base hit into left field. PA will chase this one down. Bill Hall on his way to second base. He will go in with a stand-up double. No, he's on with one away. Second hit picked up for the Red Sox.
Yeah, 10th double of the year from Billy Hall. Through 131 games last year. The record, pretty close. Numbers pretty close.
The home runs exactly the same. Look at the lack of Jacoby Ellsbury, though, in stolen bases. Their runs per game, a little bit lower this year.
Yeah, the stolen bases really jump out at you. It's really different dynamics to this ball club than last year.
Now the Oriole Red Sox fans get into the usual
boo off.
Boo off. Here's Scudero. He grounded out his first time up, takes the pitch away for a ball. Scudero went to short on that ground ball. You got a runner on at second base, one away. Orioles leading it by a score of 1-0. Scudero, 321 with runners in scoring position, an impressive number. Leadoff batter. Grounded towards the hole. Played by Asturis, holds the runner and gets the out.
Yeah, but he's had no success against Brian Mattis. Just now 1 for 12 lifetime. Again, keeping that ball down, getting the ground ball, something that he's not having to work as hard for his outs as he did the first 3 quarters of the season.
Bryan now with 2 away and a runner on at second base. And here's McDonald, who flied out to left field his first time up. Darnell McDonald. Decent lead at second for Hall. And the pitch is outside. For Mattis, 3 career starts against the Red Sox all this year, 1-0. A very respectable 2.41 ERA against them. Here at Camden Yards, he's 2-7. This is 14th start here this year. And the pitch is going to be taken outside. For his young career, Brian Mattis, 4 wins, 8 losses. His 17th career start here in his home park. ERA of 4.32 at home.
He really has pitched well against the Red Sox, and I think overall he's pitched pretty well in the division. You get off an awful lot of exposure.
McDonald, 2-0 delivery to him, will be hit in the air to center field. Jones over. And he's got it, so keep adding to those totals as the Orioles continue to stymie the opponent. 29 scoreless innings in a row. Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. With Mike Flanagan and Amber Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us here as the Orioles come back home after a 4-2 road trip and a good one. Now the Orioles will try and take advantage of a little home cooking here. Tampa Bay coming in to play as well. 6-game homestand. 3 against each, Red Sox and the Rays. Josh Beckett will get a strike into Brian Roberts. Brian grounded out his first time up. In at third base, Beltre trying to take the bunt away. .278 lifetime hitter off Beckett with 1 home run for Brian Roberts. Here's the 0-1. And a big cut and foul that one straight back.
Well, the Red Sox philosophy seems like with Brian Roberts, just stay away from him and play him straight up all the way around the field, infield and outfield, straight up.
Because of Brian's injuries, this is the first game he's played against the Red Sox this year. Brian, lifetime, 247 average against Red Sox pitching. Orioles getting their run on the RBI single by Luke Scott in the first inning, bringing home Markakis, who had doubled. Beckett retired the side in order in the second.
Even though it's early in the game, this is a big inning for Josh Beckett.
Beckett defined this game in the Boston Globe this morning as very important. This is a big start for me. I know I need to be better. Particularly, he was talking about going deeper into the ball games, and about seems like right now one bad pitch doesn't cost you 1 run, it costs you 3 or 4. He said, I got to get better in those situations. I cannot just keep us in the game. I can go deeper in the game and do things better. And that's what I've got to do.
Yeah, against the Angels, they just recently, again, he's been almost victim, much like rookie pitchers sometimes. We talk about getting into an inning and they can't get out before giving up multiple runs, and that's happened to him a lot.
Brian Roberts in the off-speed delivery just got enough to keep the at-bat alive.
2 starts ago against the Angels, had 5 shutout innings in the book, and then gave up 4 runs in the 6th. A couple of starts before that against the Yankees, allowed 5 runs in the 5th and 3 extra base hits, couple of walks and hit batter. So again, subject to the big inning. This is an important one for him here with the middle of the order due.
Brian doing his typical battle at the plate, fouling that one back. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Beckett has retired 74% of leadoff batters, a very solid number, but has still gotten into trouble obviously this year. When runners are on, teams are hitting .343 against him, almost 100 points higher than when the bases are empty. So he really needs to be in that windup. It's John Farrell, the pitching coach, and a name mentioned for managerial openings looks on. Count will stay, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Roberts clearly wants to be able to play as many games as possible here in the final month of the year. And it will all depend on how that hip and back stand up to play for him. Showalter wants to see him.
You're right. The season just may run out on him before he gets really going and healthy. And somebody wants to take the most of it. You come back from a long stint in the disabled. It's only happened to me once. A ruptured Achilles tendon, came back in late July, maybe middle of July, and it just seemed like such a short season. I felt like I was really robbed of a year in the big leagues.
Yep. And in fact, that's pretty much true. So you do what you can with the time you do get. 2-2 delivery to Roberts, and he'll lash that one into right field. 10-pitch at bat, and Brian Roberts gets a single. And that is the kind of at-bat the Orioles expect from their leadoff man.
They stayed away from him and just kept fouling him off to the left field side. This breaking ball hooks back to the middle, pulls it into right field, so he sped the bat up. Nice clean line drive single to right.
So the Orioles will get the leadoff man on, and that will bring up Nick Markakis. Nick coming away with that double and scoring his first time up. Obviously, Nick with still a very good chance of hitting that #1 spot in doubles in the league. He's now got a 9-game hit streak. And Beckett, even with the injuries to Brian Roberts, is not going to let him wander off first base.
Sure, had a little smile on Brian Roberts' face saying the same thing. Does he really think I'm going to go? That's probably when he is going to go.
He's stolen 7 out of 9. With Beckett on the mound, base stealers have gone 12 out of 13 this year. Victor Martinez, the catcher, has thrown out only 22% of base stealers. Brian with a big lead. Boy, and there it goes, and that was forced by Brian Roberts. Roberts got to both Martinez and Beckett as he did a dance over there at first base. And I think they both were watching him. That ball should have been caught.
Absolutely. He really threw Beckett completely out. Watch a little jump step. And then Beckett tried the quick, just threw off the whole rhythm of the pitch. Watch this ball just take off.
Probably a wild pitch. If it is, it's only the second of the year thrown. But Martinez didn't get a good read on that either. He didn't get up in a hurry.
Well, he's very close to balking, actually, because of that stutter step move.
And that'll be taken by Markakis. It is the difference speed makes in a game, and we talk about it all the time, but it's just true. It doesn't necessarily show up in numbers.
It just makes you uncomfortable. I mean, that speed when you're on the mound, especially with a runner on second who was able to steal third like Brian Roberts can do it among the best in the business. There's nothing you can really do about it. Try to quicken it up.
Markakis will get him moved up, backhanded by Lowry, who goes to first. And Markakis gets his job done, gets Roberts over to third base with only one away. Let's take a look at our AT&T Mobility Trivia question for the night. Who holds the Red Sox record for most saves in a season? Flash Gordon, Bob Stanley, and Reardon, or Jonathan Papelbon?
I got to go with Flash Gordon for...
I'll take Stanley. I have absolutely no idea why. He played when they were winning a lot of games.
Leading winner from Maine all time.
You got it.
Yeah. Well, Stephen King writes a book about people that are successful, right?
Yes.
He wrote one about, I can't remember the title exactly, but something about, it was the summer of Tom Gordon. I can't remember exactly. It was a reference. And the book implied that as Tom Gordon was setting this record for saves.
And a ground ball with a runner not going. Infield had moved in. Play made. Scudero, and Wigginton is retired, holding Roberts at third base. They were not all the way in, but in far enough to prevent Roberts from going on contact.
Yeah, almost the same exact spot that Wigginton didn't get a base hit the first time up. Just a little bit too much of a high hopper. Scudero a long look to check Brian Roberts.
So Luke Scott, who has one RBI, will get another chance here with two down. He's singled in. Nick Markakis in the first inning. Scott up, 2 outs. They shoved the infield over a little, but not a full shift. And the pitch is taken down low.
Yeah, just big time numbers. You talked about it at home. Coming in with that .346 average, 17 of his 25 home runs here at Camden Yards.
Talked before about how much Luke enjoys this ballpark, just the feel of comfort in it. Great batter's eye. 1-0 delivery, and that's going to be taken outside. This season for Scott, .250 average against the Red Sox. He's had a home run and 4 RBIs in the 7 games played against Boston so far.
Well, that's the thing. Luke Scott is no longer a secret weapon around the league. They're preparing for him now. It's looking he's more of a platoon player. The secret weapon, you see if he's hot or he's cold and go off of that, but he's made himself really into an everyday real power bat in the middle of the lineup. Run producer.
Scott now 9 for 19 off Beckett with 2 home runs. Roberts on at third base, 2 down. Outfield very deep. 3-0 delivery. Green light. That didn't need one. It was up high. Well, Beckett was not going to give Scott anything to hit. First walk surrendered by Beckett.
Yeah, almost like discretion was the better part of valor. Let's pitch to someone else. We tested that already.
And that someone else will be Adam Jones. Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Adam now 5 for 21 lifetime off Beckett. We've seen Adam more than willing to lay a bunt down even in extra innings to get a run in.
That's his last hit.
That's right. Beltre is moved in maybe 2.5, 3 steps at third. He's not in, even with the bag, but he's not back where he'd normally play either. And Jones On that breaking ball away, strike one.
Now showing just a little bit of rust from the time off after being drilled by that pitch in the back. Really affected his left shoulder, which would probably, it doesn't affect his throwing from the outfield, obviously, but it's his glove hand and his lead arm hitting, which are both pretty integral.
Adam with runners at first and third, 2 down. Back at the 0-1. He wants him to go after those pitches that are away. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Must have been an effective plan, as we said. Adam has struck out now 15 times this year against the Red Sox. So they're going to stay with their game plan until Adam either lays off it or starts to hit some of them. Veteran pitchers aren't going to change the pattern until you make them change.
One ball, 1-strike count. Jones fouls it back, and it will be 1-2. The Orioles have had one of the many amazing numbers in August, and under Buck Showalter's their runner in scoring position number. They still, as a team, are only hitting .234 in the year, but since August 3rd, the Orioles are hitting .314 with runners in scoring position, and that is the number one average in the month of August in the American League. It's a dramatic improvement in that regard, and it has won them some tight ball games of late. 1-2 count, runners off first and third. And Jones loops it to short, play to second base off the mark. That will score one. Scott is headed over to third. He's going to come around. He will score. Play at the plate. There is none. A two-base error, I suspect, on Scudero's throw, and the Orioles pick up 2 runs off it and a 3-0 lead.
Well, Scudero's ready to throw his glove away after this. You'll see his reaction. Just a little bit of a bobble causes the whole timing of the play to throw the go awry. And Adam Jones, I'm not sure, I didn't see exactly where J.D. Drew was, but not really backing up to play, and Scott will score easily from second base. Showalter going on at a close-up, but Scudero, I watched him at the end of the play, wanted to throw it away, throw his glove away. 17th error on Scudero.
It is a single, an RBI, and an error.
Yeah, you can see the bobble right in. The ball goes down the right field line. J.D. Drew is over towards center, really not backing up that play, and able to score all the way from second base.
Like Showalter, every moment used to teach or whatever's necessary.
He may be talking about the slide going into second base.
Now a runner at third base, 2 down. The Orioles get a big break on the error committed by Scudero. 1 RBI, 1 run scores on the error, and Jones ends up all the way over at third base on a single and a 2-base error. Here's Felix Pie. Pie will take the pitch. It is in there for a strike. A 3-0 lead. There's the second baseman he wishes he had out there, Dustin Pedroia. Scudero, tough. It was a tough play. He had a long way to go.
Oh, yeah, but he hesitated. Then he tried to put a little extra on it. But again, that left side of the infield, Adrian Beltre and Scudero, though Beltre makes a lot of great plays at third base. They have 34 errors now on that left side of the 80-something the club has committed.
And these are the kind of plays that change the complexion of a game. This is where the defense can really let you down. Should have been a final out recorded there with no runs scored. Instead, 2 runs score and the inning goes on. Felix Pie grounded out his first time up. Adam Jones gets his 53rd RBI, by the way. Pie to second base. Lowry will play the big hop, and there is out number 3. But the Orioles add a couple of runs, and after 3 are on top. Yum, yum. Now there's a view.
Light Warehouse Bar on Utah Street. Plenty of big screen HD TVs to catch all the action on Masson. Plus, each game, the O's All Access pregame show is broadcast live from the bar with Tom Davis and Dave Johnson. Don't miss the bar's pregame specials and postgame fun. Next time you visit Oriole Park, stop by the Bud Light Warehouse Bar on Utah Street. Gary?
And a beautiful night here to enjoy that here at Camden Yards, and the fans enjoying the Orioles lead. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. First of 3 in the opener. And the Orioles getting 1 earned, 1 unearned in that last half inning. For Mattis, no walks, 2 strikeouts so far. He's given up only a couple of hits, a single to Martinez and a double to Bill Hall. Beckett has surrendered the 3 runs on 5 hits with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Victor Martinez will lead it off. He had that single in the first inning. Martinez, Ortiz, and Beltre. Red Sox catcher moving in, Kevin Youkilis, now the backup Jason Varitek, rather, taking over at the end of last season and continuing in that role. And he's provided some solid offense for the Red Sox this year. 2-0 count. Martinez, 9 for 31 now with a homer against the Orioles this year. 2-0 delivery to him, and he got under that and popped it up. Shortstop is Turris. He drifts back and puts it away. I wanted to get Mike Flanagan's comment here and on this date in history. 1957 with the Orioles, Steve Belkowski threw as hard as anyone in the history of the world. 24 strikeouts in a game at A-ball. But look at that. 18 walks, 4 hit batters, and 6 wild pitches. He never made it. Morgana, the kissing bandit, went on the field in Atlanta. Clete Boyer, the recipient. He had a 1 for 17 slump. He went 8 for his next 15. And Ken Griffey Jr. at 90. First father-son to play in a lineup together.
Yeah, pretty special days.
Here's David Ortiz. Did the kissing back?
I was just thinking, if kissed him 8 or 9, 10 more times, he'd been in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, Steve Belkowski too. Cal Ripken Sr. I think played with him, and he said he could barely keep it in the cage.
Here's David Ortiz. Obviously, Belkowski needed a little peck on the cheek too.
I guess.
Foul back.
To work for the hitters. I remember her. I know her goal was always to get Nolan Ryan, and she could never get him. And I did see her in Kansas City get George Brett. I mean, it really was kind of interesting. I remember George's went down on one knee, and let's get this over with.
You can't do that anymore, obviously.
No, but it was
at the time, Morgana in the mini skirt, big blonde hair.
Right.
She'd jump out on the field and on a selected player, plant a smooch on the cheek, and then run off the field. 1-1 delivery, Ortiz, and he will foul that one back. Must have been the lipstick. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, Clete Boyer must have hit much better with lipstick on, going, 8 for 15 after the kiss. You know how superstitious players are. He probably started wearing lipstick after that.
It's a beautiful thing. 1-2. Ortiz struck out his first time up. And that'll be up high. When I was doing Met games, she actually was at a game in Houston in the old dome down there. And she did run out on the field. And she was actually after one of the Met players. And he ran.
And how long did the pursuit go on?
Only about 30 seconds.
They had her in a rundown between second and dugout.
2-ball, 2-strike count. It was a sight to behold, however. And Ortiz foul tips it into the mitt. He has struck out again, which is the norm against Brian Mattis.
It really has been something. This is a backup breaking ball, 2-2 breaking ball. But sometimes you, as a pitcher, you'll just get into the head of a hitter that you can't do it. I mean, he swings right through. It's a hanging breaking ball, and Ortiz is looking to see if he has a hole in his bat. But I can remember Scott McGregor and Reggie Jackson having the same kind of thing. The rest of us would be grunting, trying to throw it by Reggie, and Scotty would just wind up and throw 86 right at his hands, and he couldn't hit it.
So there are 2 down and a strike taken by Beltre, who fly it out. So David Ortiz now against Brian Mattis is 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts. Beltre, the 0-1 delivery. And a breaking ball, and you saw him. I don't know what he did.
George Bell used to do that when he would take a pitch, the old 2-step.
Timing was way off and just took the pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. In the air to center. Adam Jones. Brian Mattis retires the side in order. Happy birthday to you. Frank Robinson celebrates his birthday today. Rethink Possible. And by Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Bring a Green Turtle receipt to the Orioles box office for a buy one, get one free ticket offer for any non-prime game. Gorgeous night. Obviously, very warm day as the East Coast sweltering. Actually, Baltimore not as bad as it, humidity-wise, as Boston and New York today. Some of the open matches were canceled in New York today. That one hit on a 1-hopper to second base by Wieters. Lowry's got it. 1 pitch and 1 out. 1 down, 4th inning. And our fan of the game, presented by the Green Turtle, your family place where kids eat free this summer. Find your location at greenturtle.com. There's a young one who came dressed for the game. Appropriate colors.
Nice helmet.
Nice helmet, shirt, and bare feet, of course, on a night like this. Just, I love it.
Absolutely.
Here's Torres with 1 away. He grounded out his first time up. Beckett bounces that one. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Josh Beckett, 6-2, lifetime against the Orioles. Second time against them this year. He pitched back on May 2 here at Camden Yards. Had a pretty strong 7 innings, couple of runs and 6 hits. Unearned run in the 10th. Gave the Orioles the 3-2 walk-off win in that game. He was non-decision. Respectable 3.61 ERA, lifetime against the O's.
It's pitched extremely well, especially here in this ballpark. Sometimes the mound here just feels right.
And that one down to first base, playing perfectly is Lowell to get that hop. And there are 2 down here in the 4th inning. Josh Bell, to the sound of the cathedral chimes of Big Ben, will stand in. I wonder when that started. The hitters now have their own songs or sounds or something for their at-bat. Or the closers, when they come in, have their favorite theme song.
That's if you go to a game and a concert breaks out. But
yeah.
I mean, when did they start announcing the players over PA?
Good question. Don't know that. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That's a shattered bat. Shortstop back Scudero, and he's got it. So 3 in a row retired here. I do remember they had the megaphone at Braves Field to introduce players. And that's completely shutting down opponents, including David Ortiz, who has struck out twice in this ball game and is now 0 for 8 lifetime against the Orioles lefty.
Yeah, pretty even matchup except for the runs, I guess, on the Orioles side. Up 3-0. Brian Matusz just more of the same. He's allowed 1 runner to second base tonight. He's only allowed 4 over the last 3 starts.
So 30 consecutive innings thrown by Oriole pitchers without surrendering a run. Mike Lowell, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Lowell flied to center.
You see Mike Lowell's face. That ball can't be high enough, but he's establishing a nice plane. You know, Brian Matusz about 6'4", and he gets on top of that ball and drives it downhill.
And we'll get ahead on the count here. 2 strikes. Last hit picked, last run scored against the Orioles. Alex Rios, a home run, 8th inning last Thursday in Chicago. Last inning of that Chicago series. That one's going to be blooped into left field for a base hit. So Lowell is on with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. End of August, of course, and September brings call-ups. These are some of the names being bandied about. Nolan Reimold seems almost a guarantee to be called up. After that, though, kind of pick and choose. There'll probably be at least 1 pitcher called up. A number of them, including Chris Tillman, Nikolaos, Sarfate, have pitched here already. And will Zach Britton be called up or not? Well, Amber's going to have a word on that in the next half inning. J.D. Drew, strikeout victim, his first time up. He'll foul it back.
How many times you don't want to call up too many players that you aren't going to use and really just going to sit. Many times it's another infielder, maybe another an outfielder to give Buck Showalter some more leeway to make some moves. And I'm sure a couple arms with a bullpen would be something nice to have.
J.D. Drew with a runner at first base, nobody out. Check swing. One plate umpire under Apuano says he went around. Andy McPhail told the Baltimore Sun today that the average of 6 or 7 call-ups is probably in the range of what the Orioles will do. And probably it's going to be in waves. AAA Norfolk, the first possibility, and then their season ending September 6th when those would happen. J.D. Drew swings and misses. He's gone. 1 away here in the 5th inning.
Again, we talked about at the top of the show, he needed to control Ortiz and J.D. Drew. And again, J.D. Drew has been an Oriole killer, but he's now struck out. This is now 4 of his last 6 at-bats against Brian Mattis. So he's really had their number. 4 of the last 5 at-bats he's had against Brian Mattis.
So the guys that you were talking about, Mike, Ortiz and Drew, have both struck out twice, and they are the 4 strikeouts Brian Mattis has in the game.
And they were his 5 of his 8 when he pitched 7 innings against the Red Sox back on that July 4th outstanding outing.
Lowry lined out softly to third base, his first time up. Easy for me to say, I'm not playing third. 1-0 count on him, hitting at 269, and takes the pitch down low. Tell you about the wave of call-ups. Double-A Bowie, when they finish, could be September 6th, could be later if they are in the playoffs, so that could delay any call-ups that would come from there. So we're liable to have 2 or 3 days where we get a couple of players. That is in there for a strike. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Jed Lowry. Wigginton playing off the bag and behind the runner at first base. Shortens up that hole between first and second. And the pitch will be up high. Weeder's up with these. All right, get it down, settle it down, take your time hands there. 3-1.
Yeah, I like the way he's taking his time from the stretch position with Mike Lowell on at first. No chance of really running here. So this is one he really shouldn't be worried about the runner whatsoever, just the hitter.
3-1. In the air to left field, Felix P.A., and that shutout inning streak is over. Goodbye, home run. Jed Lowry delivers the long ball, and it is a 3-2 ball game.
And it falls behind Lowry, 3-1. Middle. And Lowry's just been swinging one of the hotter bats on the Red Sox. Doesn't miss it.
So one swing of the bat makes this a 1-run ball game. As Lowry gets his 4th. Brian Mattis surrendering his 17th of the year. And 15 of the 17 have been hit by right-handers, as would be expected. Base is empty, 1 away. Bill Hall. Hall had a double his first time up. One-0 pitch is bounced.
Yeah, right here's where Brian Mattis needs to just get back in the stretch, go back to what you were doing. Forget about what just happened. You still have the lead. Not falling to the trap of overthrowing.
Two-0 count on Hall. And he takes a home run cut. 2-1. He's got 17 home runs. 40 RBIs. He can hit the long ball. Came out of Tampa Bay with an 0 for 6 in the 3-game series where the Red Sox lost 2. Quickly got out of that with a double in the 3rd inning. 2-1 deliveries up high and a 3-1 count.
Yet another dangerous count to a hitter that's really swinging for the fences most of the time.
And the 3-1 delivery on the way. And it'll be back into the seats. It'll stay. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Don't miss the final showdown in the 2010 between the Orioles and Yankees at Camden Yards, Friday, September 17 through Sunday, September 19. Good seats still remain for each game. They're going fast. This classic rivalry renewed again. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Hall hitting at 241, hitting in the 9-hole, 3-2 delivery. Tried to wait on it, fouls it back.
Just overthrowing a little bit since the home run. Think about how good his curveball has been when he allows it to break. That one hung up. So go back to it was working well.
Waiting for Hall, who's got that big open stance that he closes up. 3-2 delivery and a ground ball back to the mound, and Brian Mattis in position to handle it. Hall retired, 2 down.
Yeah, just a perfect pitch. Again, low and away. The target is lower than low, and he executes it perfectly. Right to the glove and right back to him. Pretty good fielding pitcher. Takes his time, records the out.
So 2 down with the bases empty.
So that's a case of really pitching to contact. Make a good pitch down and away. Probably going to have a good swing at it, but well located, results in an out.
We'll bring up Michael Scudero. And Scudero takes a strike. He has grounded out to short twice. Brings in a modest 3-game hit streak, which he's had 1 hit per ball game, 3 for 14. 0-1 delivery. Scudero takes it. Brian Mattis has had interesting outings. That first one against the Red Sox, a home run to Varitek. He left with the lead, was non-decision. Second outing against Boston, he threw a career-high 117 pitches. Then the last outing against Boston, tied a career-high with 8 strikeouts. And lowered his ERA against the East to 2.90 when he gave up no runs on 2 hits in 7 innings against Boston. That was the last start he had against them on July 4th. Continued that shutout until that home run by Lowry. Two-one delivery to Scudero. Jones will put it away. But the home run by Lowry with a runner on. Lowell, who started the inning out with a single, has made it a 1-run game.
On that list. Now, this is going to be an interesting decision for the Orioles. He is their top pitching prospect right now in AAA. He's already pitched about the same amount of innings that he did last year. Now, there was a question as to whether or not the Orioles would bring him up if they could not put him in the starting rotation. And Buck Showalter has said they will not pitch him out of the bullpen. If they bring him up, they want to make sure there's room for him in the rotation. Also, there's been some reports lately that they might not bring him up because he's not on the 40-man roster. Well, today Buck Showalter dispelled that myth, saying, I want to be clear, we're not going to make decisions based on whether somebody's on the 40-man roster or not. Now, since Zach pitched yesterday, we might not see him caught up tomorrow. If they decide to call him up, we could see him in a couple weeks if that decision is made, Gary.
All right, and that is one of the most discussed names regarding call-ups, because everybody, I think, thought for half the season definitely he'd be one of those coming up, and then all of a sudden it became iffy, and so now remains a real question. Brian Roberts, and he will take the pitch up high. Roberts has single scored and grounded out. Brian has a 6-game hit streak that he extended with that single.
I think a lot of that due to there was some talk about the Orioles starters and not wanting to go over a certain or X amount of innings. And I talked to Buck about it. He doesn't really see a great danger in the number of innings they've thrown this year. So he may want to get a look at the starting rotation, really through the month of September. So there may not really be that many starts, if any, available.
Here's the 2-0 delivery on the way, and Brian Roberts swings through that one. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. Orioles RBIs from Luke Scott, first inning with a base hit. Jones, an RBI single in the third, and an error on Scudero in that third inning on the Jones hit that allowed another run to score. The 2-run homer by Lowry, accounting for the Red Sox runs. A 2-ball, 2-strike count on Roberts. Final month of the season, if you will start tomorrow, even though the season will go through the first weekend in October. 2-2. And he timed that one. Base hit into right. J.D. drew up. A 2-for-3 ball game for Brian Roberts. Tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit It Here fan of the game is Cheryl Cole from Brookville. If an Orioles player hits the Hit It Here sign located in the bullpen area, Cheryl, you're going to win $100,000. To find out more about how you can become the fan of the game, visit mdlottery.com/hitithere. And Cheryl, good luck. CC, our fan of the game. CC Sabathia's mom was honored by the Little League this year at their Little League World Series as the Mother of the Year. She and her husband were there talking about CC Sabathia, whom played Little League in a program at their hometown, and Mom and Dad are still involved.
It was great. I watched the story.
Yep.
Still works the hot dog stand, concession stand, and just loves that age of young players.
Pitch is taken outside for a ball. Brian Roberts on at first. He discombobulated the whole battery in his first time out. It was his jumping around at first base that resulted in a wild pitch that moved him down to second and ultimately would help create a 2-run inning. 1-0 delivery is chopped off the catcher Martinez.
Well, look for him to run again, or at least be a distraction. That's what he does so well. He looks like he's not going anywhere, and he'll just try to guess. Actually, not when you're going to throw to the plate, but a hair before you're going to throw to the plate. It really throws off your timing when you see that runner just sort of take off. Many times you can balk or flinch or quick pitch, much like Beckett tried to do.
1 ball, 1 strike. And Kegas, he'll take that for a strike.
At times that little jab step, and you could see him do it on that last pitch to Josh Beckett. Just as you're almost ready to go home, he has that sense, and he'll take a couple of hops. Watch the timing, and right here, he'll do those 2 little steps, and then Beckett throws. I mean, it just really throws off the rhythm when you're on the mound, when a runner with his speed can do that to you. Just makes you uncomfortable.
1-2, and Marquez will ask for a timeout.
And it gives Brian Roberts a lot of information, too, because he's not going to do a quick snap throw over. He knows from that. He's already committed in his mind to going home as to why he doesn't throw over the first base when he sees him do that.
1-2 delivery on the way. Marquez will take it up high.
Yeah, if he was ready to try to pick you off, he would just hold the ball and just say, I'm not going home. And if Brian Roberts dances a couple of steps, I'll just throw over. And you see that happen in the last 2 pitches. So he's not really committed to holding Brian Roberts on. He's thinking more about Nick Markakis at the plate.
And he's got a 2-ball, 2-strike count. There's the step-off throw. You got to believe for Brian Roberts less of the way, as much as he might like to run, with that back and hip bothering him, you've got to have a really good jump. And even then, do you really want him doing that?
Right. I think it's an indication of how well he is feeling at the moment. Maybe more how it is day to day.
Marquez, that was up and in, popped up Beltre. And he's got it. Good pitch by Beckett right there. 1 down here in the 5th. And it'll bring up Ty Wigginton. Wigginton a single, and he is grounded out. Wigginton hitting .244 off the Red Sox this year. He does have 3 home runs against Boston. He leads the Orioles in homers hit against the Red Sox this year. One down. Roberts still over at first base. Roberts faked a go, and the off-speed breaking ball is in for a strike.
I'm sure he is really irritating Josh Beckett. He really has been able to sort of time his delivery to the plate.
Tagging to John Shelby. T-Bone, the first base coach, moving up. Wigginton will lash that foul. Ty Wigginton telling Amber before the game, as far as his future is concerned, loves playing here, really loves Buck Showalter as the manager. Winning is what it's all about at this point in the veteran's career. And he's just going to let it kind of play out and see what happens.
Yep. He's had a nice year.
Yep. 0-2. Roberts still dancing over there in a long hole by Beckett. And Wigginton pops it up. First base. Beckett started over and did a 90-degree turn. Like, what am I doing over here?
Yeah, let the sure hands have it.
Yeah. On Tuesday, September 14, the first 10,000 fans 15 and over will receive a Buck Showalter Orioles T-shirt presented by Real Street Staffing. Don't miss the final T-shirt Tuesday of the season. Your chance to show your support for Birdland's new boss. For tickets, call 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Showalter looking for his 17th win as the Orioles skipper. The first winning month for the Orioles, guaranteed. They are 16 and 11 in August coming into this game. First time since 2008 the Orioles have had a winning month. Luke Scott, runner at first, 2 down. Scott has drawn a walk and scored on the error committed in the third. He's also picked up an RBI single. Beckett taking a long time with him because Scott is 9 for 19 against him with 2 home runs. 1-0 count. Luke had a tough road trip, hitting just 130 on the trip. But despite that, still up there with Ortiz in the 1-2 categories of average and home runs and RBIs for designated hitters. And he's moved into the 9 spot in the league in home runs.
Yeah, you do think Luke is more of a part-time type of player, but he is not. I mean, he's crept up the average right around 300.
2-0 delivery. Roberts not going anywhere. Strike on the outside corner.
Perfect pitch right there. Not much you could do with that one.
Looks like there will not be a Triple Crown winner in the American League, at least, with Josh Hamilton, Miguel Cabrera being the 2 who had a charge at it. But even though both of them are still very high in the 3 categories, not going to be enough in one of those for each of those players. He takes that for a strike.
A lot of people think that Luke Scott has been inconsistent. Look how consistent he has been from 08, 09, and 10. Line drives almost exactly the same number of fly balls. Exactly the same. Ground ball percentages almost exactly the same. And look at the numbers. 08, 09, and this year, 23, 25, 25 home runs. The only thing that has really jumped this year is the average. So it seems to be somewhat of a misconception that he is streaky. When you get to the end of the season, pretty consistent numbers year after year.
And at this point in Luke Scott's career, I think it's fair to say, and positively so, he is what he is, which is a very good everyday player who provides you with some power in the middle of that lineup, and especially for the Orioles here at home.
And I think what he's done is he's handled left-handed hitters or left-handed pitching much, much better than he has in the past. I think he's hitting the ball to left center field much better than he has in the past and maintained his power. So to me, it shows a, maturation process of a player becoming a fine everyday player.
2-2 delivery on the way. And did not go around. And that's Barksdale at third.
A lot of players don't adjust to the designated hitter. They find it like pinch hitting 4 times a night, and Luke certainly has taken to it and giving outstanding bats, and that's his classic check swing approach, the one-arm hold.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Brian Roberts at first base. He got on with a leadoff single and has stayed there. He'll be running. 3-2 delivery. Swung on and got him. Foul tip is held on to by Martinez. Beckett gets his third strikeout. No runs, a hit, and a runner left on. Again today made it clear, maybe young, but what we want to see is growth, because if it doesn't come,
At some point, there will be somebody else that will get this opportunity. If you're not grasping it's one thing to go through struggles, but you got to learn from them and not make the same mistakes. I don't think, most people that get to this level, stuff's not an issue. It's the other part of the game that you want to see them grasp and start to learn from. I hope that's some of the case, that we've benefited from their struggles and they're mentally strong enough to make the adjustments.
And Brian Mattis certainly looks as though that has happened for him here in this month of August. 3 wins in August, equaling his total for the entire rest of the season. That ball will be looped by McDonald into right center field. And Darnell McDonald is on with a leadoff single here in the 6th inning, with the Orioles' lead having been cut from 3-0 to 3-2.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox box score for the evening. A couple of singles at the top. The big blow, the Jed Lowry 2-run home run. Billy Hall a double at the bottom of the lineup, so the power coming out of the 8-9 slots. Now running through that middle of the order one more time.
Martinez and Ortiz, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. Victor Martinez a single in the first inning, now has a 6-game hit streak. He also has popped out. Best batting average against left-handers in the American League. 4:15 starting the night. Puts that one down the line. It'll curve and end up as a souvenir. Good crowd on hand here for the opener. Don't forget, it is a 3-game set tomorrow night. Jake Arrieta brings his 4-6 mark in against John Lester, who is 13-8. And on Thursday night, Brad Bergeson, 6-9, faces Daisuke Matsuzaka, who is 8-4. Matsuzaka missed his last start. Well, he's coming back. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be to right. Markakis with a runner halfway retires Martinez.
Just a very nice pitch, tied up Victor Martinez. And he stayed away from most of these right-handed hitters. Target on the outside. Just really low and away. Nice pitch.
So here comes David Ortiz with a scowl on his face. He has struck out twice. He's 0 for 8 against Brian Mattis lifetime, and 7 of the 8 have been strikeouts. Shift is on. 1 down. PA, again the long run, and they can't get there. Good try. Is he all right? He hit that throwing hand arm on the wall over there.
Yeah, another long run for Felix Piet. I've been too busy out in left field tonight, but into that concrete wall which has padding on the sides. So he already may have some tape on that left wrist.
Being flexing the hand. It's felt better.
I'm sure.
1 strike count on Ortiz. Runner off first and almost. He actually started towards second base. Now they'll bring Ron Johnson, the first base coach, over to talk to him.
Yeah, he was going, no question about it. You can see the balance now that Mattis has with a runner on. If he reads that, he can go over out of his other sort of slide step position, unable to probably throw to first out of it.
McDonald 7 for 7 stealing bases. Ortiz and a breaking ball. That's in there for a strike, and he's behind 0-2.
And again, this exact position, that's why Big Papi was swinging at that first pitch. He doesn't want to run deep in the count again. Again, there's only 2 left-handed hitters in this Red Sox lineup, and they're 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, 2 by Ortiz and 2 by J.D. Drew.
Ryan Mattis with a look. Here's the 0-2. There have only been 20 pitchers who have struck David Ortiz out more than Brian Mattis. And Brian's had all of his this year facing the Red Sox. 16 of those pitchers, 16 of the 20 aren't even active anymore. Mark Hendrickson in the bullpen for the Orioles has 8 strikeouts against Ortiz. Brian Mattis going for another one here. Here's the 1-2 throw over.
Yeah, but how many bats has Hendrickson and Ortiz matched up against each other?
A lot more than against Brian Mattis.
Oh, absolutely.
It remains a 1-ball, 2-strike count. There goes the runner, and a protect against a strikeout swing because McDonald had the base stolen if he could have taken that pitch.
Now that's the emergency swing by David Ortiz just to stay alive. I'm sure anything close, he's going to be swinging. Pretty good breaking ball, gets it away from Ortiz. Reader's already popping out for the attempted steal.
Count remains at 1-2.
He may pick him off at first if he does it again.
And Ortiz steps out.
A little slower leg lift. See the first base coach coming over. I'm sure giving a wink. He's still going. And those leads you get out and plant.
Runner goes, 1-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Ball gets away, and that was strike 3. Ortiz taking off for first base as the ball went to the backstop. Now they're going to bring him back.
Ortiz would do anything to get the first base up.
Anything to get on.
Yeah, you can see Beavan Buck lowering his bill of his cap, saying you really can't do this, even though it looks like first base is unoccupied.
Because the runner had already gone, but it was still occupied. Now it is a strikeout. And a pass ball is called, allowing McDonald to move down to second base. So 5 strikeouts for Mattis, 3 against Ortiz. 1 down, and that's going to be a base hit into left field. Late start, though. McDonald will hold as PA gets it in. Beltre delivers a single. And the Red Sox have runners on at first and third with 2 down. And this is one of those moments where you kind of need to slow the game down.
Absolutely. After something really good happens, a strikeout to Ortiz, a line drive just out of the reach of his Tourist. But he went through a hitter in Ortiz that he's handled really well, and now he's at least through Beltre.
And they've changed the ruling. No pass ball, a stolen base for McDonald. He's now 8 for 8, and he's at third. Runners at first and third, 2 down. Big at bat for Lowell. Orioles have a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, that's the thing. McDonald really running on the pitch, so you have to give him a steal.
Lowell is singled and flied out to center field. Fan competition continues. Lowell will take the pitch, and it is down low for a ball. Here's a big at bat. Sox 1 for 3, Orioles 3 for 8, with runners in scoring position in this ball game. Lowell hitting only .206 against left-handers this year, .253 off righties. He's had 63 at bats off lefties. 1-0 delivery to him, and that's a strike. 1-1.
That's really where he wants to stay against Mike Lowell. As still has above average power.
McDonald off third, Beltre off first. 1 ball, 1 strike delivered, and Lowell fouls it back. Every time he does that, you wonder how much it hurts.
Yeah, because he takes those 2 little steps afterwards. You can tell they're sort of painful. Doesn't have the normal follow through. Watch the swing. They take these 2 little jab steps, sort of to break down the swing.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Lowell. Now he's trying to protect the 1-run lead here in the 6th inning. 1-2 delivery. And again fouled off.
Well, pitch count starting to mount on Brian Mattis, but we haven't seen him up around 115 to 120 of late. 94 pitches thrown, just 30 balls. Take a look at this last follow through by Lowell.
Just a little more pain.
Yeah, painful. Yeah, maybe you forget about your other problems, right?
Forget your hip and your back.
Yeah, you
concentrate on your foot where you got a guard and it didn't hit the guard.
Yeah, so you get a sore foot, hit yourself in the thumb with a hammer. You forget all about your foot. Kind of what's happening.
Runners off first and third. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Got him. Called strike 3. Brian Mattis, 6th strikeout. Lowell didn't think so. Slams the helmet. Drops the bat. To you by Ford. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Gary Thorne, Mike Flanagan, and Theo Harris. Good ball game in this first of 3. Mike Lowell not happy.
Let's take a look at this 1-2 pitch to Mike Lowell. Late fade, kind of a delayed call by Rapawana, but I'm sure Mike Lowell hears the call. You can see him call strike. And Madison will exit the diamond. Lowell will take his frustration to the field. Looks like it was low.
4 have been left on by the Red Sox. 2 of those in scoring position. The Orioles have also stranded 4. 2 in scoring position. Here's Adam Jones. Josh Beckett's delivery is in there for a strike.
With the Orioles, in-game box score, Brian Roberts, a couple of singles and a run. Nick Markakis hitting his 40th double and also a run.
That'll be down low. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Adam with a single and an RBI in the 3rd inning and a strikeout in the 1st. Well pitched ball game yet again. 1-1. And down the line in right field, J.D. Drew's got a long run and he's not going to get there. That is a foul ball. Right on the line, Tom Hallion, first base umpire, made the call immediately. Adam thought he might have had one drop in. So did John Shelby, the first base coach.
Yeah, he'll ask for some help from Shelby. Thought for sure it was going to him. It looks like it had a lot of spin and late fade on it. He's going, wow, I can't believe that ball drifted foul. Hit him off the end of the bat. He had that tremendous curve to him at the very end.
One ball, 2 strike count. Beckett the break on where that one landed. And the 1-2 is swung on and foul back. Jim Johnson back with the Orioles, of course, in the bullpen.
He really had that sinker ball working. It was good to see make it all the way back. Jim Johnson, 94, 95 mile an hour sinkers.
Red Sox changed their bullpen today. If you missed it, Manny Del Carmen was traded to Colorado for a minor league pitcher. They called up Robert Manuel to take his place in the bullpen. Del Carmen had a very tough year with the Red Sox. He went 3-2, 4.7 ERA, 48 games, 44 innings worked for Manny Del Carmen. 1-2 delivery. Look out. Whoa. A little, excuse me, swing. Almost picked off some teammates right there, including Lugo. Lugo going, wait, I'm not even playing, and they're going to try to hit me in the head.
Well, that's the thing about today. They put up the safety screens, for players that sit in the dugout. So now they all stand on top of the safety screens where they're exposed. Only usually the starting pitcher is the only one sitting on the whole bench. The manager, the pitching coach.
And got him with a high heater. One away. Join the Orioles legend Scott McGregor at High Top's Backstage Grill from 6 to 8 on Tuesday. The Orioles alumni viewing party is going to be there. He'll be signing autographs, meeting fans. The O's take on the Yankees from the Bronx on Masson HD at 7:05. That's next Tuesday. High Top's Backstage Grill, York Road, Timonium. For details, go to OriolesReach.com. One down. Here's PA. He has grounded out twice to second base. One 1-0 count. Beckett is settled in and can field. He throws a lollipop over there to first base. PA retired.
Yeah, pretty good fielding play by Beckett. You can see the smile on his face. Nag just appeared to be destined for center field. Then he gives this high throw. But Mike Lowell was saying, don't lob it in the light standard where I can't see it. Give me a chance to get over the first and give me a good throw.
Here is Matt Wieters. Wieters 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice and will take it down low for a ball. Orioles got a run in the first inning. The RBI by Scott. 2 in the third. Helped out by a Jones single and an error. An unearned run, the difference in the ball game right now. Each team with 6 hits. The only error committed by the Red Sox allowing the unearned run. Wieters takes that inside 2-0. The Orioles catcher hitting .208 right-handed, .261 left-handed. 8 of his 10 home runs hit from this side of the plate. By the way, we saw Lugo in the dugout. He has been cleared to play. after concussion concerns. He is ready to go and available. 1-0 delivery, and that will be taken. A 1-ball, 1-strike count, so good news. He'd had a concussion before, so very leery of being hit. He was hit up on a pickoff play. He had a concussion in 07 when he got hit by a knee on a play at the base in the field and did suffer a concussion. This time, no concussion, but it hurt. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and it's outside.
Well, a lot more talk today about the importance of making sure with these concussions, be careful with them. I wasn't sure if it went off the ear flap or the side of the helmet or not.
If anything in sports has changed over the last 2-3 years, it's the concern about concussions in every sport. 3-1 delivery is fouled back. Jason Varitek in the ballpark, of course, and these are a couple coming from the same Georgia background. You take a look at their numbers through 201 career games, and they are very similar. Slugging percentage higher for Varitek. Strikeouts a little higher for Wieters. But the batting average not discernibly different there, and the on-base percentage pretty much the same.
A couple of pretty good catchers, switch-hitting catchers out of Georgia Tech.
That one's going to be a base hit into right field. They were not playing Wieters to pull. Had the second baseman way over, so a big hole, and he took advantage of it for the base hit. And Wieters turned out, if he turns out like Varitek.
I was just going to say, would you be satisfied with a Varitek-like career?
Not so bad.
Yeah, team catcher or team captain for a lot of years.
Thought it's funny that Varitek's career number average is exactly what it was in 201 at bats. We had no idea when that was looked up, but it just turns out that way. That's pretty good consistency. Here's his Turris. Runner on at first base, 2 away. Orioles now with 7 hits in the ballgame off Beckett. Beltre plays in at third, even with 2 down. And a strike taken as Turris 0 for 2.
And the pitch count starting to approach 100 for Josh Beckett. They're not showing any signs of tiring, so the Red Sox bullpen will get active.
Felix Doubront up in the bullpen. He's done a good job for them. This is what Beckett, when we were talking about him earlier, was talking about. The inability to get as deep into ball games as he'd like to go because the pitch count keeps doing this to him. Too early in the ball game as far as he's concerned, and meaning Terry Francona's got to look to that bullpen a little earlier than he'd like.
Yeah, some of those at bats. Think of the Brian Roberts at bats. I think a 10-pitch at bat he had earlier. You're taking around a tenth of the allotment that he's going to throw in the evening. So 2 of those at bats a night. And you can drive some of the better pitchers out of the game.
Beckett 5-1 lifetime against the Orioles with a 2.98 ERA. This is 10th start against the O's. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Wieters off first. Is Turris up the middle? Lowry over to get it. Force to the shortstop. Scudero for the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles on top by 1. Find the latest gear at the official online shop of the Orioles. Browse the largest selection of official caps, T-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more for the whole family. You can shop 24/7 from the comfort of your home. Get your gear from the official source, theorioles.com shop. Real good ball game here, and Brian Mattis looking to wrap up this month with his 4th win in August, which would be one more than in all of the other months. He is 6-12 on the season. And the breaking ball to J.D. Drew. Drew has struck out twice. It'll be Drew. And then Lowry, who's had the 2 RBI homer, and Hall due up.
You think he's going back and asking David Ortiz, what are you looking for off of Mattis? It's like whatever they're looking for, Brian is throwing something else.
At a 2-0 count. Pitch count at 97. 2-0 delivery on the way. And Drew will take it inside. So J.D. Drew gets ahead on the count here, 3-0. Mattis, one of the problems for Brian has been leadoff batters, retiring only 60% of leadoff batters coming into this game. 2 of them have reached for the Red Sox, and that resulted in the 5th inning run. And that's going to be 3 of them. And this one's a leadoff walk in the 7th inning. And that's it. Boy, that didn't take long. And Buck Showalter makes his mind up about what's going to be done. It's done. He came out on the run, immediately made the signal. Brian Mattis coming out. He'll get a nice hand. He's got a chance to be the winning pitcher. He starts in his last 6, a 2.43 ERA over that period, and now he'll watch and hope to get a W.
Yeah, pitched extremely well, but I think in walking the leadoff left-handed J.D. Drew, Buck Showalter is going to go to the bullpen for Jimmy Johnson. Here's his numbers on the overall season, but he made his really first appearance back since April 30th, but the scoreless 9th against the Angels after being on the 60-day DL. It's a long journey for Jimmy Johnson to come back, but this appeared from his last time out back to his old form, which was, mid-90s power sinker.
Runner at first base, J.D. Drew. And swung on and fouled off right off Wieters that time. Wow. Take a look at our Ford drive of the game.
Yeah, he got ahead in the count and then picked out a fastball low middle of the plate. Not the only real mistake he made all evening long. Handled the middle of this lineup, which can be very difficult with pretty good ease. So Lowry's 1 for 2, 2-run homer in the 5th.
And your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. We are in the 7th inning of a 1-run ball game. Drew got the walk to lead it off. The only walk surrendered by Brian Mattis. That pitch low, and Wieters went to work to block it. So Jim Johnson making his way back, as Mike said, and now time for him to show what he's got.
Yeah, long journey. See, that power sinker has to be very difficult to catch someone like Jim Johnson. Just not sure where that sinker is going to go. I'm sure it's a very heavy sinker. Just beat up your hands if you're a catcher.
Lowry 1 for 3. And the throw over to get the runner back. J.D. Drew smiles every time anybody throws over. Have they looked at me? Have they watched me run?
Well, if they see my hands on my knees, I'm not going anywhere.
He's got 3 stolen bases, 3 for 4.
That's how he does it. Lulls you to sleep.
And that's going to be into right field for a base hit. Markakis up will hold the runner at second base, J.D. Drew. So Lowry comes through again. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, most of the damage done by the bottom of the order today. That's that belt middle, 94, but up. Just the reputation of Markakis' throwing arms when it stops J.D. Drew at second base.
Ryan Mattis, anxious. It is about the team, but look, you leave and you got a chance to win. You want the W.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, Buck, when he walked the leadoff left-hander to start the inning, it really is a no-no. That's throw it over the plate. Can't have you walking the leadoff man, especially when he's been handled pretty well by you that night. It's an indication either your stuff's starting to slip.
Terry Francona playing to get the runners moved up with nobody out. Hall has 1 sacrifice this season. He is the number 9 hitter who has doubled and grounded out. Josh Bell has moved in at third base, and Wigginton is charging at first. Hall hitting a .240 S power, though, with his 17 homers. Let's see if he meant it. 1 strike delivery. He did. Takes it. Bell's playing that 45-degree angle at third. If Wigginton or the pitcher can handle a bunt, Bell will be there at third to try and get the force out on Drew, the lead runner.
It really makes you give that up if it's bunted really hard at Josh Bell at third base. Then you give up the bag and you're taken out. The key thing on this play, regardless of what play is on, is to get an out.
Wigginton way in. There's the bunt. It's a good one. They got to play it first only. And Wieters makes it. Good sacrifice, though, by Bill Hall. Roberts over to cover for the putout at first base.
It's a pretty nice play by Matt Wieters. That's to really sort of turn against the grain to throw back to first base. Hustles off from behind the plate. Calls for it. Had to turn about 90 degrees back towards first base. Good play.
Now the Orioles looking in defensively to see where they want him. They'll play back with 1 down and 2 on. Marco Scudero, the leadoff batter, 0 for 3, 2 ground ball outs and a fly ball. Lead runner is Drew. Lowry down at second. And obviously, runner at third, Drew, will try and get as big a jump as he can with that sinker being thrown by Johnson. Tim Bogar encouraging Drew to mark off some distance here. If that ball gets away, Drew would like to score, even though he's not particularly fast. 1-0 delivered. That is a strike called. 1-1.
Yeah, looked a little bit on the low side. I'm sure Scudero thought so. Yeah, you have to be very careful with that power sinker. Matt Wieters is going to need to block everything he can in the dirt. And most of Jimmy Johnson's pitches are knee high or below.
Here's the 1-1 delivery, and Scudero will take it, and that's a strike on the outside corner.
And the curveball may have been a little bit low, but this is just the perfect pitch, down and away, right on that outside corner. Can't throw it any better.
Scudero 0 for 4 off Jim Johnson. Infield now moves in, so they change it up. When Johnson gets ahead on the count at 1 and 2, they were back. Now they're in. And they will try and make a play on a ground ball at the plate if J.D. Drew takes off. One would not expect Drew to run here on contact.
Right, to run around second and third.
1-2 delivery and chop foul by Scudero. Boy, these sinkers can do some damage to people's feet, catchers' hands.
It's like getting hit in the toe with a brick. But I think that's what Buck Showalter's counting on, the pitch being down, beating it into the ground.
See Gary Allenson standing. He was adjusting the infielders with Buck Showalter right behind him. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and a chopper. Runner's not going. It is a fair ball, and got him! Josh Bell using the arm to get a big out as Scudero's retired.
I mean, with Josh Bell playing in, he gets a good jump on this ball. Maybe some thought of letting it go foul, but he comes up throwing and gets him by a good step and a half. So Josh Bell in on the grass and determines that ball just may stay fair. I'd better play it. He makes a nice play.
That's a great lesson video right there. You see how he circled the ball so he had an angle to throw to first, and if you can play it with a glove, you always should. You've got a better chance of being able to come up with it rather than trying to barehand it. He did all of that really well. Timeout being taken. Rick Kranitz, pitching coach, on his way out. Ryan Kalish comes on as the pinch runner at second base. And Daniel Navas going to be the pinch hitter for McDonald.
That's so both sides going to great lengths to keep this game where it is, or for the Red Sox trying to tie it up as Hendrickson continues to throw. So pinch hitters, pinch runners, infield in, infield back. It's all happening here in the seventh.
No disrespect to the individual players of the Red Sox, but you can see with the names that we're putting out there, these are names of players that you would not expect to be in a ball game like this time of the year for Boston, but because of injuries, a lot of these players who otherwise wouldn't be here are getting a chance. Now there are two down. The infield can back up. Drew at third, Kalish the runner at second, and a strike taken.
It's become a pretty wide strike zone with Ed Rapawano behind the plate over the last couple of innings.
Showalter watching to see if his team can get this done when they were 2 on and nobody out. Now 2 on and 2 down, and Jim Johnson will step off.
2 on, nobody out. They get the sac bunt, and then the swinging bunt by Scudero.
Oh, 1 the count. That was switch hitter, 283 left-handed. Big cut. He's had only 1 home run. He's played in 40 games, 116 at bats. Johnson ahead of him, 2 strikes.
Yeah, power sinkers. Sometimes you just can't bear to look.
Brian Mattis with a deep breath. He's not even pitching, but he's got a chance for a win in this if the Orioles can maintain this lead of 1 run. Nava waiting, checks the swing, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
And many times it's much easier to be out there doing it than being in the dugout and trying to watch. Late move at 94 off the plate. Really not that close. But being ahead, they're trying to expand that outside corner.
One-two delivery. And there'll have to be another as that is headed to the seats. 18,247, 18247. The announced attendance in Game 1. Here on this Tuesday night. Red Sox have been in town for a while. They came in on Sunday. Waiting to play, Josh Beckett. Opposing pitcher watching, see if his ball club can get him back in a winning position. One and two. And taken, just miss. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Only seen really a couple of breaking balls out of Jimmy Johnson because the sinker has been so good. Watch the break. It goes straight down. And a lot of sinkers have a lot of lateral movement to it. That's almost like a split finger fastball, but it's thrown at 94 miles an hour.
Runners off second and third. 2-2 delivery on the way, and foul back again. Real battle here at a key moment in the ball game in the 7th inning. Neva getting his first major league experience this year, 4th year in the Red Sox organization. He's played in some starts. Now in a big pinch hit opportunity. 2-2 delivery. And again, fought off. Gone 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter. One of the toughest roles in baseball to fill.
Yeah, not easy to do. Come off the bench. You don't know really who you're hitting against, how good his stuff is. You have to just go up there and sort of fight the pitcher, fight the strike zone.
Here's the 2-2 again, and that one again is fouled back into the screen. So he's given himself an opportunity to see what Jim Johnson's got, what he looks like, how the windup goes.
He knows what the 94-mile-an-hour sinker looks like. He's thrown 19 pitches, only 5 balls, so they're almost carbon copies of each other.
The 9th pitch of this at-bat is coming up. Drew at third. Kalish at second. Orioles up by 1, 7th inning. Neva will ask for a timeout.
And the whole process is driving Brian Maz nuts in the dugout. You can see the life of a starting pitcher. You know, your evening is really kind of all at stake right here. You've battled through it. It seems like a long time ago we walked the leadoff man in this inning.
Here's the 2-2 again, and got him on the outside corner. And no argument. And Mattis still is the pitcher of record to win it.
On the board with a half a bat in the first inning, driving in a run, and then it's Adam Jones, ground ball to Scooter, who can't handle it. So again, it's going to be a night of defensive plays not made, and those that have been made. Lowry will get them back on the board offensively. The 2-run homer of his own. And it's this play right here that kind of turns the whole game around. may have given up the lead on this type of play. Nice read by Josh Bell. So it's 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 7th. Manis will end up with a couple of earned runs, but pitched extremely well. Tight game all the way through. Brian Roberts, couple hits, and Jed Lowry, that 2-run home run, really keeping the Red Sox hanging around.
Hall is going to move to second base from left field. Now he's going to stay in the ball game in left after that pinch hit strikeout. And Kalish in the ball game in right. And the first pitch swung on and foul back. Or Kalish is in center, I'm sorry. Kalish in for McDonald in center field.
Not quite the outfield they started the season with.
Not quite. Josh Bell, his strikeout popped out. Josh Beckett remains on, a walk, 3 strikeouts so far in the ball game. And that one again, foul back over the screen, 2-strike count. So for Brian Mattis, couple of runs, 6 hits over 6+ innings, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and a chance to win his 7th of the season. As Johnson came on and got some help from the D and got the big strikeout to end the inning. Josh Bell back to the mound. Beckett this time will still make a lollipop toss over there and gets him. 1 away. Join us again tomorrow. More great action. These two teams go at it again. Jake Arrieta against John Lester. Our coverage on Masson HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson.
That should be a pretty good matchup. John Lester, outstanding numbers against the Orioles over his career. Jake Arrieta's starting to figure out it on his own. That'll be a good one tomorrow night.
Orioles up by 1, bottom half of the 7th inning. Brian Roberts, Lowell, I got it, and he does.
Shouldn't he throw? I thought he should throw him a lollipop.
You should wait for him to get over there and then throw it really way up in the air.
I totally agree.
And there are 2 down. So Beckett gave up the run in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the third unearned. Since then, the Orioles have not had a runner to second base. But Brian Mattis got the job done as well. 2-run homer by Lowry in the 5th, the only runs for the Red Sox. Here's Nick Markakis, a double, his 40th in the first inning, 9-game hit streak. Nick 1 for 3 in the ball game. And he shows bunt. Pretty good names to join. Consecutive 40-plus double seasons. Outfielders. Ducky Medwick, Hall of Famer. Harry Heilman. And Nick Markakis. And Mr. Speaker. Chris Speaker. Pitch is taken for a strike.
Pretty good company.
Nick had waited a dozen games before picking up an extra base hit again, and did it here tonight. Beckett really reared back on that one.
And the ball really cut. He's throwing a lot of sinkers tonight, but a 91 mile an hour cutter. And Nick put the A swing on it too.
Orioles, after a 4-game win streak, trying to set the Red Sox down in a 3-game losing streak. Markakis takes it, and that's there. So Beckett gets the K and retires the side. 1-2-3. We've completed 7 in a great ball game. 3-2 O's. free the USS Whidbey Island, part of Navy Week in Baltimore. In fact, down there in the Inner Harbor today, they had some of the crew members who were around the area inviting folks to come on board and take a free tour of the Whidbey. So we hope you'll do that. Navy Week. And Monday, Labor Day, Maryland Navy football game at the M&T Bank Stadium here across the street. Labor Day football game. Great uniforms, I have to tell you, the crew members who are around.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And that is taken for a strike as we go to the 8th inning. Here's a look right there. You can go up that ramp.
It looks inviting.
Get a tour. The Whidbey. That's in the Inner Harbor. It's on the near the aquarium. The 0-1 pitch. And that is going to be taken down low. So Jim Johnson stays on here in the 8th. Victor Martinez, Ortiz, and Beltre. Martinez a single, 1 for 3, 6-game hit streak. He's popped out, flied out.
Maybe his last hitter.
Now bullpen management. And because the starters have been so good, this bullpen's pretty well rested. Michael Gonzalez up in the bullpen.
Instead of pitching an inning, you sort of picture spots. Again, with Ortiz on deck, and with Martinez to great numbers against left-handed pitching. So these are all things that Buck Showalter's aware of, that Martinez hitting over 400 against left-handers. So Jim Johnson stays on. This is one thing I think we've seen as a change later on in the season, that Buck's not afraid to sort of go mid-inning with the pitcher as opposed to starting innings off fresh.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and that ball is blooped to right. Markakis was deep and a base hit. So Martinez, who is hitting .244 off righties and .415 off lefties, defies those odds and comes away with a leadoff single here in the 8th.
No, he just came off that Tampa series where he went 8 for 13 with 3 home runs. So even when he's mishitting balls, he's finding a hole. So jammed badly. So now he's 10 for his last 17.
So Martinez, representing the potential tying run in the ball game, is on. David Ortiz, who has struck out 3 times, all against Brian Mattis, will be coming to the plate. Ortiz 2 for 7 off Johnson, and like Showalter's on his way out. Wanted to make sure Gonzalez was ready, and as soon as he got the word, he comes on and makes the change. Jim Johnson out of there, responsible for the base runner.
Of late, you just go back to recently on the West Coast, struck out Bobby Abreu in a huge situation, running on the corners and 1 out in the 9th, and he's back in the frying pan again here. Facing a very tough customer in David Ortiz, who's 0 for 3 lifetime.
Runner at first base and nobody out, and David Ortiz will take it outside for a ball. distinct numbers against Gonzalez from the time he was injured before and after. He's had a 1.98 ERA, 15 appearances since coming off the DL July 21. That one's in the gap. PA is over, and he's got it. Hit hard, but it stayed up. And scampering back Martinez.
I'm not sure if PA slipped. I didn't know if the ball was going to get into the lights either. That danger area with the low line drives in left center field. Ortiz on the button. A little bit of a slip on the throw, and I think that's what PA was looking at the turf.
That will be it for Gonzalez. He works a third of an inning, gets the out. Runner remains on at first base. One away. Orioles lead at 3-2. And this is what long outings by starters give a manager: an opportunity to use a whole bullpen when needed. Orioles will use their third pitcher.
Yeah, the Orioles have done everything they can to just keep this lead, and Koji to be fooled by some of those numbers. 5 walks, 31 Ks, and 28 innings of work. He's been an outstanding pitcher here late in the season. Earned saves on Friday and Sunday against the Angels. And he's pitched to an 0.89 ERA. That's 20 and a third innings of work, just 2 earned runs in his last 18 outings. So the Bucks going to bring him on here in the 8th. I'm not sure if he'll let him try to run it out, but he's coming off of that 1-pitch save in Anaheim.
Orioles trying to end this month of August with their 17th win. They're 16-11, a winning month guaranteed, but would love to go out with another W. Runner on at first base as Martinez led the inning off with a single. 1 down. Beltre is singled, 1 for 3. Beltre's got a 4-game hit streak going. And he will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Dubron and Daniel Bard, who may be their closer of the future, in the bullpen.
I think it's Dubron if behind, and Bard if he had the lead or tied.
Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that will miss outside for a ball. Beltre is tied for first in RBIs for the month of August in the American League. He hasn't had 100 RBIs since 2004, but he's going to have them this year. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Big cut, foul back. He's driven in 88 on the year. Koji O'Hara trying to get him out of there, get him to hit into the ground ball double play.
That's the thing. If you can get through this part of the lineup, maybe it gets a little bit easier, but this clearly is the toughest part of their lineup.
And that's going to be fouled back. He's taking some big-time cuts, 1 and 2.
He's not going for the blooper to right. I can tell you that. He's going down on one knee in almost every swing. Well, you can tell Koji really trusts his fastball because he knows he's looking to lean back and let it fly.
Beltre hitting .316 against the Orioles this year. A home run, 4 RBIs. 1-2 delivery. A tapper. O'Hara's got it. There's one. Brian Roberts, quick relay. Not in time. Good effort. They get the lead runner. Martinez out at second base.
I'm trying to surprise Beltre. Got another fastball. Got a good spot from Koji. Quick release by Koji. Brian just couldn't really get anything on the throw. Not sure he had a chance.
So Beltre hits into the fielder's choice, putting a runner on at first with 2 down. Lowell delivered a single in the 5th inning. He scored on the home run, 2 RBI homer by Lowry. Lowry is out of the ball game now. 2 away and foul back. Lowell has struck out and flied out as well as getting the single.
That's the thing. You see the hitters, they'll swing and they'll foul it straight back and think they're right on. How can I sort of miss that pitch? But Koji just has that little bit of zip right on the end. It seems to get them all behind.
Lowell has hit only .196 this year with runners in scoring position. That's part of the pain that he's had to work through with that hip of his, as he had long been one of their really good RBI producers. Got a runner at first base here. 0-2 count, 2 down. Beltre, the base runner. O'Hara. That's to center. Jones has it lined up. And that's the inning. Good job by the bullpen. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The O's 3, the Red Sox 2. Ryan Mattis could be the winner. A fine 6 innings, 2 runs on 6 hits. Lowry delivered the 2 RBI homer. That came in the 5th, accounting for the Red Sox runs. And Brian Roberts, with some fancy footwork, helped set up a couple of runs on the 3rd. He's gone 2 for 4. Texting your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. Beckett is out of there. Red Sox go to the bullpen.
Coach Brunken will come out of the pen. 11 games for the Red Sox. 2-2. Pretty good ERA. Has started for them. He's now working out of the bullpen. He's made 8 relief appearances since being called up. 5 2/3 scoreless over his last 5 outings. But he had a start earlier on in the year. He's really the only pitcher this year to make his major league debut with the Red Sox. So dipping down into the minor leagues, a sort of a converted starter to help them out late in the game in the bullpen.
So the revised bullpen continuing to be relied on by the Red Sox as they try and put together a lot of wins to try and give themselves a chance at the postseason. Dubron on. And Ty Wigginton will be coming up. Ty Wigginton is single, 1 for 3. He is grounded out and popped out. Ty hitting at .251. Dubron's pitch will be taken for his strike. Opponents are .263 off this left-hander. Left-handers have hit just .143 off him. Right-handers .333. Came up August 6th, third stint with Boston. AAA Pawtucket, where he had been most of the season. And that ball will be fouled off. And a 2-strike count.
And in 2009, he was the pitcher of the year at the AA level.
Dubron for Beckett, who gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 7 hits over 7 innings. A walk and 5 strikeouts. And 1 big inning in the third when the Orioles got 2, helped out by an error. 1 unearned run that inning. That'll be fouled off into the seats. 2-strike count.
That's more the defense that let Beckett down tonight.
There goes Scudero on a throwing error, trying to get a force out at second base. It got away all the way over into the right field foul line area. Adam Jones credited with a single and an RBI, and another run scored as he ended up at third base.
A big 2-out error.
Scudero will field this one. And Wigginton is retired, 1 away in the 8th. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Now Luke Scott will come up to face Dubron. The Orioles trying to nurse this 1-run lead to the end. They would love to add on right here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dubron's pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Luke Scott, RBI single in the first, walked and scored in the third. Strikeout victim in the 5th inning. 1-0 delivered. And Luke will take the breaking ball inside and low. Dubron is not allowed to run in the last 5 games that he has worked. He's shown pretty good control in the ball games coming out of the bullpen. 2-0 count. 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, 8 innings of relief work. That one drilled to right field, and goodbye! He's given up one now. Luke Scott, a homer, and the Orioles lead it 4-2.
Now Luke all smiles. 2-0 fastball. He leans on this low line drive. Just a question of what's going to be high enough. And he turns this young left-hander's fastball around, low bullet.
State Farm donating $100 to the Wounded Warrior Project for every home run hit by the Orioles in the second half of the season. Luke Scott adds to that. Career high. He loves coming home. We told you the stage was set tonight for Luke Scott. He had a tough road trip. This is the ballpark where he hits so well. And that's a big run. In the air to shallow right center. Kalish coming and puts it away. Jones retired, a 1-for-4 game. 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Well, I'm sure the left-hander brought in the face pretty much Luke Scott to go through this 8th inning to keep the score as is. Again, now Luke Scott, 18 of his 26 home runs here at Camden Yards.
His 7th off a left-hander.
And I don't think I've ever seen anyone enjoy hitting home runs more than Luke Scott. He thoroughly gets really excited about it.
Loves the power game. And the Orioles get a very big run off that one. PA will take it for a strike. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game. So Scott in the game, a home run, a single, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored as he also reached on a walk.
He's been on base 3 to 4 times. So once he puts that white home uniform on, everything seems to change.
Hitting .346 at home and .222 on the road. 0-1 delivery. PA was trying to join him with another home run. 0-2. Obviously the risk that he ran into the wall with in left field earlier is okay based on that swing. Oh, 2 count. And Buck Showalter's ball club up by 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Orioles not trailed in this game. PA will foul it back. Scott gets his 2nd home run against the Red Sox this year. And in the 7 games they've played, Luke Scott has now picked up 5 RBIs against Boston. Raises the average and all the other numbers against the Red Sox on the season series. 0-2 count on PA. Dubrov's delivery to it. That was one to hit. Fouled straight back.
If he keeps throwing hangers, PA is going to hit another one.
Dubrov allowing his 2nd home run of the season in the 25 innings that he has worked. He had not allowed a run, as we said, in the last 5 games, covering 5 2/3 innings. Breaking ball off speed. PA takes it 1-2.
See how quickly it can turn around. The Orioles have worked so hard defensively and almost going through their bullpen over the last couple of innings to keep the score at 3-2 through those number of relievers and at bats, tough at bats, and then with one swing get a little bit of breathing room. You said that is a huge run.
1 ball, 2 strike count on PA. Every success of the Orioles is one more in the Show Buck month, which is what it is. And for the Red Sox, it's another nail in that proverbial coffin because they are just about out of time to make any run for a playoff position. 2-2 delivery, grounded foul. Red Sox since 03 have only missed the playoffs once. That was in 06. But it doesn't look like they're going to make it again this year. They would have to have a big-time run, and they would have to have some help from other teams beating Tampa Bay and/or the Yankees.
I looked up, they would have had to go on something like 21-10 to win 95 games, and the other clubs are already with 80 wins. Pretty tough to do. They're not going to go 15-30.
And PA gets one. That is way back in right field. Goodbye, home run. PA and his good buddy Luke Scott have back-to-back home runs, and the Orioles have a 5-2 lead.
Well, we're saying if he leaves another one up and out over the plate, he's going to have the same kind of results. The PA puts a charge into it. This is lefty's taking a pretty good lefty deep up middle. Hanging breaking ball to PA, and he is right on it. That head out.
They will talk about those home runs for a while as each get one here in the 8th inning. That's number 5 of the year for PA. Though Dubrov had such success coming out of the bullpen in relief, not having it here in the 8th inning of this ball game. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Orioles. Fouled away by Matt Wieters, who's 1 for 3 in the ball game.
I'm sure Terry Francona brought him in. Said, well, I want him to handle the left-handers and take his chances with the right-handers. He gets the right-handers out, and the 2 lefties take him deep.
Left-handers had not had a home run off Dubron. And we're hitting only 143 against him. 5 for 35 coming into this inning. PA and Scott say otherwise. And that is there. Wieters will be called out. But here in the 8th inning, the home runs by Scott and PA add 2 more. And the Orioles 3 outs away from wrapping up this first game. Losing a long ball late to build up a 3-run lead. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And the Orioles on this beautiful summer night here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, Birdland, with a 5-2 lead. 5-9-0 for the Orioles, 2-8-1. The Red Sox, we go to the 9th inning. Koji O'Hara remains on, PA. Made a fine catch in left field last half inning and then got that home run. O'Hara's going to stay on. He got the final 2 outs in the 8th. He's at the bottom part of the order. J.D. Drew, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Kalish and then Hall are due up. O'Hara is in line for his 5th save of the season.
Yeah, he's done well. I mean, you can't take anything away from him. Throwing strikes, using all his pitches. He's somehow been able to make that 86 look like 93.
And that pitch will be taken away. Orioles, a victory here could have a 4-game win streak, and the Red Sox a 3-game losing streak. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and Drew will take it in the air to left. That is going to send PA back. He's got room, and he's got it. Drew is retired, 1 down, 9th inning. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Those are the results so far. Still time for you to text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. The results coming up on the O's Extra postgame show. Scott with 2 RBIs, Jones an RBI, PA an RBI, a run scored on an error. Right now, Beckford is the pitcher of record for the Red Sox, and Brian Mattis for the Orioles. Ryan Kalish fouls that one off the mask of Wieters. First at bat for Kalish in the game.
Cody just keeps coming at you.
Numbers for Kalish. Came on as a pinch runner. 0-2 delivery to him up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles will take the lead in the season series 7-6 against the Red Sox if they hang on for the lead here.
An interesting battle between these two managers tonight, using everything at their disposal.
Gets the strikeout. 2 down, 9th inning.
In majority fastballs, gets ahead, 1-2, and then just throws that splitter that just ducks out and late. To me, he's been using that splitter more against the younger players who are not as experienced, be able to stay back. And against the veterans, he just seems to be going straight fastballs. I think they're expecting to try to be fooled.
Orioles 1 out away from the win. Here is Bill Hall. 1 for 2 and a sacrifice, has a double in the game, fouls it back. Koji Ohara was a closer for 1 year in 2007 in Japan. He had 32 saves that year, working 62 innings. As we said, he's got a chance for his 5th save here this year. This would be an inning and 2/3 worth of work. Gonzalez, 3rd of an inning. Jim Johnson, an inning. The strikeout and 1 hit. Brian Mattis, the starter, 2 runs, 6 hits over 6. Foul tipped, 0-2.
And once again, throwing that invisible ball. This time it was a slider or cutter.
Two-strike delivery to Hall, and that'll be down to 3rd. That is a fair ball. Bell the long throw. This one's in the book for the O's, as they come away with an impressive 5-2 win in a well-played ball game. The Orioles got another great start, this time from Brian Mattis. Picks up his 7th win of the season. The Orioles beat the Red Sox in Game 1, 5-2.